Out.
Well, author Claudia McAdam, an award-winning author, joins us via Skype from Colorado, one of my favorite states, I told her that, to talk about her book titled Louie's Lent. Thank you so much, Claudia, for being with us today. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing very well. Thank you. Blessings to you both on this Ash
Hi,
Wednesday.
Claudia.
Yes, I love Lent, by the way, just so you know. So this book is right up my alley. And you've written many faith-based stories, Claudia, to invite young readers to place themselves within the narratives about Jesus. Tell us about Louie's Lent, because it's a little different.
It is. Many of my picture books and young adult novels take a character and put that person at the time of Jesus. Louie's Lent, however, is a contemporary story set in modern day times where Louie and his classmates are discussing what they're going to do for Lent. It's Ash Wednesday, and their classmates are coming up with their ideas, giving up sweets, giving up video games, breaking the bad habit of oversleeping in the morning, and Louie doesn't know what to do. He is stumped. And so through the course of the book, what he does is he accompanies his classmates on their various sacrifices. And in so doing, we realize, and he realizes, that the greatest sacrifice that we can offer to God is the gift of ourselves.
The main character of Louie, like so many of us, he struggles, as you mentioned, to figure out what he's going to do for Lent to make it really helpful toward holiness for him. Can I ask you, what are you going to do for Lent? Because, you wrote the book.
Great question, and I have a story I want to share with you. This happened yesterday. I was with my 7-year-old grandson, and we were talking, and he said, "Today is Margarita Day." And I'm like, "What? Margarita Day?" I'm like, "Finn, you don't drink." And I said, "What do you mean Margarita Day?" He goes, "It's the day before Lent starts." I said, "Oh, you mean Mardi Gras?" Yes, so we talked about what that means. And I said, "So, Finn, what are you going to do for Lent?" He said, "I'm going to do the same thing I did last year when he was 6. I said, "What's that?" He says, "I am going to stop fussing, stop complaining." And I said, "Finian, I'm going to join you in that. You'll do better than I will, I'm sure, but I'm going to stop fussing, doing my best to stop fussing."
I like it.
Yeah, that'd be impossible for me because we do national days, and I usually don't like a lot of them. So
And you fuss.
Yeah, that would.
He fusses.
I will see what I can do. What I really like too about Louie is that as he's struggling and he kind of figures out what he wants to do, and I don't think I'm giving away. Well, I probably am. And he starts to reach out to his classmates. I love the ending afterwards when they all explain what they're doing. I found it very touching that they recognized Louie, who didn't know if they would or not. Where did you come up with the idea of the character for Louie?
Louie is every young child, I think, and a lot of kids and adults as well don't pay much attention to Lent or don't really know what can they do, what should they give up, is giving up something enough? And what we want to do is get outside of ourselves so that the Lord can get into us. And as Joel said in our first reading today, return to me, the Lord says. And St. Paul said in 2 Corinthians, now is the acceptable time. And our psalm for today from King David told us to ask the Lord to create a clean heart in us. And that's what we need to do for Lent. So Louie is just kind of a conglomeration of a lot of people. And at the end of the story, yes, he doesn't think he's lived a good Lent until it's pointed out to him that what he has done is he has done what the Lord said when Jesus told us that he desires mercy and not sacrifice. And that's what Louie has shown. So he has had the best Lent ever. And his classmates realize how they have been helped by his assistance throughout the 40 days of Lent.
Claudia, I need to ask you, as adults, we have a stronger faith focus, perhaps, and the actions of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving are something that makes sense to us because we've thought about them a lot. How is Lent an opportunity to encourage children and young people to grow deeper in their faith?
I think parents, grandparents, teachers, religious, they need to model their behavior in such a way where kids understand that they should also be living in such a way. And I would encourage families to do something that they're not already doing. For example, maybe add a day of the week to go to Mass, an additional Mass, daily Mass. Pray the sorrowful mysteries of the Rosary. Spend some time in Eucharistic adoration. Do many different things, or just do one of those things. And another thing, too, you talked at the beginning of the program about giving up our sacrifices for the people who are suffering in Ukraine. And I think if you give up candy or coffee or something and you feel that pang of desire that's a good spur to tell you to, let's say a prayer for those who are in need, who want for much more than coffee or candy or something like that.
Well, Claudia, as always, it's great to have you here. How could people obtain a copy of Louie's Lent?
Go to your local Catholic bookstore or visit the Ascension Press page. It's ascensionpress.com/Ash Wednesday, or visit me at my website, claudiamcadam.com. I also have a free resource discussion guide for this particular book that's available to anyone by request there.
Well, I thought it was great. Really enjoyed it and enjoyed our time together. Have a great day.